Over the years, plenty of faces have changed for the Wild. But through it all, one thing has remained a constant. The team of 18,000 cheering on their hometown team each and every night. Now entering their 10th season, many memories have been made, with plenty more to come.
Was looking in front. Heinold had it. Mike Keane leaves it off. Minnesota brings it out. Sergei Zholtov across the line. Here's Brunette. Brunette. He moves. Brunette back in. He scores. He scores. Minnesota has won. Minnesota has upset the Colorado Avalanche. Andrew Brunette, the game-winning goal.
For a 10th time, Wild fans make their way to downtown St. Paul for a season opener. The Edmonton Oilers in town to take on the Minnesota Wild. Crestone is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Minnesota Wild hockey on Fox Sports North. Earlier today, the Wild were greeted. Yeah, they're back from Finland. They're at home, and they were greeted on the red carpet at XL Energy Center, making their way into the arena before they prepared for tonight's game. Hi, everybody. I'm Cam Terhar along with Mike Greenlay and the Horn as we get set for season number 10 into town hall, and there's a lot of excitement in the air tonight. And Mike, a lot of that has to do with all the off-season changes, none bigger than the ones right up the middle.
That's an area that the Wild had to address, and Chuck Fletcher did so by acquiring two veteran centermen, free agents, and John Madden and Matt Cullen, both very good in the face-off circle. Both have hoisted the Stanley Cup. John Madden, though, I'll tell you what, he's more of a defensive specialist. Matt Cullen, he's going to help the Wild put the puck in the net. Going to play on that second-line center position, likely next to Havlat, maybe Latendresse, but Clutterbuck has filled the gap there a little bit as well.
Well, for Matt Cullen, the Minnesota native, this is anything but just another opener.
And this one is a little bit more exciting than any of them, obviously, just being at home and playing in front of family and friends and playing for Minnesota. I mean, that's as good as it gets for a kid from Minnesota. So, I think that every season opener, you have to have a little excitement. Otherwise, I don't think you're going to last very long.
Well, the Oilers come in with a couple of wins already, Mike, but they're young and they're refreshed and they're dangerous.
They are, and they're especially young with 3 rookies on their squad. Their last 3 first-round picks, 22nd, 10th, and then first overall, respectively. Jordan Eberle, you'd see he was a pick in 08. He's already electrified the Oiler fans. He's going to have a lot of speed, going to be tough to contend with. I'll tell you what, Taylor Hall, first overall pick this year. When you lose, you get top picks. Well, the Oilers lost last year. They get the cream of the crop here, and he is also going to be a guy the Wild have to watch this evening. A lot of speed, great hands, but keep in mind, these guys are very young.
Now this is going to be fun. The Minnesota Wild will try to continue their recent dominance of the Oilers. Our game plan is next. Back in St. Paul, time now for the XL Energy game plan.
Own your zone. Last season, the Wild had breakdowns in their own end that cost them 42 more goals than the previous year. They need good D-zone coverage this season. No place like home. The Wild had 25 wins at home last year. They need to continue to convert the state of hockey fans' energy into victories. And up the middle, the Wild strengthen their lineup up the middle, and it should pay dividends in the face-off circle and at both ends of the ice.
The Wild and the Oilers up next on Fox Sports North. Home opener number 10 for the Minnesota Wild in front of a full house, as they are accustomed to, Mike, and they have never lost the home opener, 8-0-1.
And this one's so much more important than just a home opener. It's more important than the 2 points. This is really a message that the Wild need to send to themselves, really. Get some confidence behind them. They want to have a good start to this season. Therefore, they need to start putting some wins on the board.
Let's take a look at the Northland Forge starting goaltenders for tonight.
Well, Nicklas Backstrom gets his 3rd start in a row, played the 2 games in Finland, lost 1 in a shootout. And so Nicklas Backstrom looking to have a good bounce back year in his own right. And speaking of bounce back years, down at the other end, Nikolai Habibulin, last year limited to only 18 games because of back surgery. And he already has a shutout this year and 2 victories under his belt. Nikolai Habibulin will make Edmonton competitive on many, many nights this season. There's Tom Rennie, new head coach. Last year was associate head coach. Pat Quinn moved up to the front office. And so Tom Rennie takes over the helm for this young Oiler team. Of course, Todd Richards in his 2nd season behind the bench for the Minnesota Wild.
For the 10th time, the puck is down and the season is underway in St. Paul. The Wild in red, Oilers in white. You see Kyle Brodziak, the former Oiler, starting at center to get this game rolling. Little juggling of lines already before we even get going for Todd Richards.
Yeah, he's supposed to look like Matt Cullen, isn't he? We all thought that Matt Cullen would play in between Havlat and Latendresse, but Todd Richards not afraid to move things around a little bit off the start here.
Latendresse will take the puck through center. Latendresse with Tom Gilbert, the Bloomington native, on his back. Tried to center, knocked away. He was looking for Marty Havlat out front.
That's the kind of pressure that Latendresse has to have this season. Just like last year, needs to push the defense back into their own zone.
Todd Richards said today that he really was happy with the last couple of practices his team has had. Centering attempt knocked back up along the right wing wall. Chipped away by Ante Miettinen back checking. So Miettinen and Burnett are up there on the wings with Mikko Koivu at center. That's something that has changed little as Miettinen steals that one away at the Oiler blue line and sends it in deep. Flipped ahead by Curtis Foster, a name very familiar to Wild fans. We'll talk more about Curtis Foster as we go through the evening. Habibulin steers it aside. There's Curtis Foster, number 26, the defenseman, played parts of 4 seasons with the Minnesota Wild. Tipped ahead through center. Quick hook penalty coming up here.
Going to go to Matt Cullen here as we take a quick look at our Light the Lamp this year. Nicklas Backstrom, the goaltenders are allowed to be taken this year. Robbie Mikowski took him. Havlat with Terhar. I went with a defenseman in Burns. Kevin and Tom Charsky went with Andrew Burnett. And Matt Cullen was taken as well. Anthony LaPanta goes with a hometown guy and Anthony, just so to let him know, you do not get any points for your player taking penalties. And Cullen just took a hooking minor.
So an early power play for Edmonton. This is Tom Gilbert. His shot in traffic, scrambling to find it is Backstrom, and he locates it. And then also pushing and shoving, Zielinski took a shot in the back after he had upended the rookie Bayarvi right in front of the goal.
It's Cogliano in front, and that's who he was getting mixed up with. There's Cogliano, good play off the wall, and Gilbert does the right thing, get it to the net. And there, Bayarvi was just trying to create some havoc in front of Backstrom. It did carry him off a couple of guys, but Nicklas Backstrom's been sharp and already showing some good signs early this season. He was able to find that puck juggling around in between legs.
There you see the early power play and penalty kill numbers for these two teams. And Tom Gilbert's long pass to Brule. Gilbert Brule with a quick shot. Patted aside there by Backstrom. Right back out to the point. Off Schmid's stick. Loose puck. Scooped up. Right up the middle as Clutterbuck had it poke checked away. Reaches back. Knocks it towards the corner. Now turned over and controlled by the Wild. John Madden drops it back defensively to Brent Burns. Now to Nick Schultz. Good penalty kill as it's cleared all the way down by Nick Schultz, playing in his 610th game for the Minnesota Wild. Nobody has played more games in a Wild sweater than Nick Schultz. Boy, you know, over the offseason, Mike, there's a lot of talk about could he be a guy that could be moved to another team, and that didn't happen. I think people should be very happy he's still here.
He really solidifies that blue line, and that's one thing the Wild need. They need to keep their veteran defensemen around. They have a couple of young fellas that are on the roster, and having Nick Schultz around certainly helps steady things. He came in with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder this year, and that's a good thing, mind you, because Nick Schultz, I think, is ready to try and win some games here with the Wild this season.
Came in with a chip on his shoulder, and it's more muscles on him too. He put on some good weight over the summer. Schmid out of his own end. Headman's to the right side to Hemsky. He'll cross the line. Takes a hip check there from Mikko Koivu. Puck is cleared again. 8 seconds remaining in Cullen's penalty time. A very good kill so far for the Wild.
We got to like 2 of the acquisitions for the Wild.
Koivu centering in front, and it's kicked aside. Mietnin was crashing in, and they almost got one. The penalty expires. 2 shots on goal. Now a break quickly to the other end. Horkoff will send it back to the point. Long wrist shot from there. Easy save by Backstrom.
Yeah, I was saying 2 of the acquisitions for the Wild are good penalty killers. John Madden, Eric Nystrom, both of them looking at the penalty kill early in this game, and they did a very good job.
Now let's take a look at some of the things we have in store for you tonight. Kevin Gord will tell us how about an online auction with autographed NHL jerseys to raise money for cancer research. Plus, how is Darby Hendrickson adapting to life as a coach? Andrew Burnett fills us in, and we'll check out a unique sport from the Scandinavian countries that all 3 Wild Finns played to help shape their hockey skills.
One thing that you found, Europeans and the North Americans are certainly catching up in that department, but Europeans, always very skilled hockey players. They play on generally a bigger ice surface, which forces them to be more skilled, and they practice it a lot more.
Here's Clutterbuck moving in with a shot off the glove of Javi Bulin. Clutter had Cullen in front, but as we know, Mike, with Cal Clutterbuck, he's going to try and put it away.
And generally, he's going to go that high glove route, and he almost caught Javi Bulin there. Javi Bulin got that glove up.
Backhand in front, kicked around, Backstrom down, and he's got it covered. Action at both ends of the rink.
Well, Cal Clutterbuck had a hat trick, albeit against the Finnish Elite League team that the Wild played as kind of an exhibition game. But look at that good hard shot. Javi Bulin got the glove up quickly. And then down at the other end, some good collisions. Stortini, he's always a troublemaker, and the Wild are always wary when he's on the ice. He doesn't have to worry about the guys like Derek Bugard anymore, but the Wild do have some toughness in their lineup.
Staubitz is one of them. The former San Jose Shark crashes down low, and Wild keep it in. Barker's shot hit traffic on the way to the goal. Controlled in the corner. Staubitz dumps it back in on goal. Javi Bulin will cover with Brodziak all over him, looking for a loose puck, and he has a little chat with Ladislav Schmid.
Let's take a look at our Clutterbuck shot, and this is in our Foxmo. Watch this. Look at the bend on the stick, and just the cheater. And we call the cheater right above the wrist, in between the webbing and the wrist guard there. That's the cheater on the glove. And even though they've reduced them on goaltenders in the last few years, that's what stopped the puck. You got a piece of it. And as a goaltender, if you catch a little bit of it, sometimes that's all you need.
Play whistle down, a penalty coming up in the Edmonton zone, a holding penalty.
Wow, they're going to see, are they or not? No, it's going to be Brunette.
Minnesota number 15, minor penalty for holding.
An offensive zone holding penalty. You don't see that often. But here's Brunette. Oh yeah, he got his hand underneath the elbow of the defender, trying to beat him to the puck. Yeah, Andrew Brunette, we talked about it. He's not the quickest player. He's got to use little tricks to kind of find position. Once he gets position on you, though, he's tough to beat. He got caught on that one. The Wild second minor of the game.
Their penalty killing was outstanding a couple of minutes ago in the first penalty to Cullen, and they'll try to repeat that here with Andrew Burnett in the box.
Well, the good thing is the Wild do have a lot of players that can play on that penalty kill, and now we see a different combo up front with Koivu and Mietnin, and that helps keep the guys rested if you do get into penalty trouble.
Will battle at the point, won by the Oilers. Penner sends it down low. Gagne going around, gets run over by Brent Burns. picked off, a bouncing puck off the stick of Miettinen. There's Penner in the high slot, lost it. Koivu will backhand it down the ice, and then he and Miettinen will head off for a change.
Another penalty coming up. This time it's going to go to the Oilers. So that'll nullify the power play.
Edmonton, number 27, minor penalty for hooking.
Well, the referees are calling what seems to be all infractions. Dustin Penner. He gets the hook in on Mikko Koivu. Not a lot.
Wow.
And that is a tight call, because you wouldn't even have thought that a referee would have seen that, but you get the stick up underneath him, and it's the attempt was made.
There's Havlat tipping it ahead, but Cullen couldn't quite scoop it up. A little 4-on-4 hockey here in the first period. Long cross-rink pass will go off the wall. Zanin going back. Greg Zanin will touch up. It'll be icing. You see Zanin has switched to his more familiar number 5. He wore 6 last year, but switched it back to 5 this season, the shot blocking expert.
Now, and the guy skating right next to him, Martin Havlat, he switched to his more familiar number 24. He, of course, wore 14 last year, but Derek Bugard, a much bigger individual, had that number 24 last season. He's now vacated the number and the area code.
Cullen and Sean Horkoff on the draw. Horkoff, the captain of the Oilers, as that slid all the way through. Javi Bulin just kind of pushed it aside, broken up from behind by Cullen. Here's Zhilitsky with time and space on top. Now to Zanin. Back to Zhilitsky. Hopped his stick, gains control to Havlat. Tried to feed it back down for Zhilitsky, and it's going to be cleared ahead. And Horkoff will take his time. Leads it ahead out of the zone for young Jordan Eberle. And Eberle lost his edge and went down, and the Wild will break it out in a 4-on-4 situation. Here's Havlat across the line, and Cullen on the left side was called offside. He didn't agree, but that's the call.
Be back here in downtown St. Paul at the XL Energy Center, and it's great to be a part of Fox Sports North, who is supporting cancer and Cancer Research Month here as we try to help with multiple myeloma and their research foundation. Throughout October, we'll give you a chance to bid on some awesome autographed Wild and NHL superstar jerseys. Each broadcast, we put up different jerseys for auction. These are good through Monday night. Pay attention, it's unbelievable. Matt Cullen, the local boy back in Minnesota, autographed Wild sweater, game worn. You also get Rick Nash, the big superstar forward for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He'll be in town on Saturday. And how about Jonathan Toews, the former Fighting Sioux captain who raised the cup in Chicago? Those 3 jerseys all the way through Monday. Go to foxsportsnorth.com for more on that, and stay with us all the way through October. 10 different sweaters, all autographed by your favorite Wild and NHL greats, guys.
You got to love it. I know there's a lot of jersey collectors out there, and here's a chance to get some what you know to be authentic signed sweaters.
Going to a great cause as well as we continue 4-on-4 here. 7 minutes into this first period. Cam Barker came up with that puck at center ice and got it into the Oilers zone. Now Gagne turns. Gagne slides that one through everybody on goal. Backstrom steers to the side. Brunette is out of the box, and the Wild now on the power play. See if they can get some chances here in a shortened first power play opportunity. Whitney round to the right point, held in, Burns across. Cam Barker looking for help all the way across, centered in front, and it got right through Miettinen and through Brunette to the corner, and it's cleared.
Well, they went back door to Koivu. Koivu tried to go to back door to either Miettinen or Brunette. And so a lot of passing there, just didn't connect on that last one.
Now Brunette across the line, takes his time, feeds it inside, he shoots, he scores! What a feed to Miettinen!
Antti Miettinen, a couple of chances already in this game, and that one he makes good on. Look at this Barker play up the wing. That's what we need to see from Cam Barker. And when you put it on the tape of Captain Mikko Koivu, you know that he's got playmaking ability, but you gotta love this stretch pass by Cam Barker. That's the great headman ability that we want to see from Cam Barker all season long. You want to see emotion in his game. You want to see that talent come out. And that was just a beautiful play. Great headman, and Miettinen puts it away. to get the Wild up 1-0.
We saw it in the preseason. We saw it in the games in Finland. But the 15-year veteran Andrew Brunette just continues to set people up. Brunette and Barker, the assists on the goal by Antti Miettinen, his first goal of the season, his second point of the season. And the Wild get the first goal. Sent in deep by Cogliano. Took a hit on the back wall. Flipped up to center. Got by Bloomington native Tom Gilbert all the way back to Javi Bulin. He gives it up to Schmid. Schmid, 5 years in the league, all with the Edmonton Oilers. Sends it around behind. Backhanded up the wall there by Päijärvi, and Clutterbuck going back. Cogliano and he exchange some stick work. Here's Zanin. Zanin goes right back to Zhidlitsky. Long pass, past Clutterbuck into the corner. Clutterbuck will get the touch. No icing, centers. Nobody but white sweaters there. Now Havlat has it. Shot on the save. Javi Bulin couldn't find it. He had no idea where it was. Cullen could not quite get a solid piece of it.
It was high-sticked in front by a Wild player, but then immediately waved off when one of the Edmonton players played it, and the Wild had another crack at it.
Havlat just across the left line, all the way around to the right point. Wild putting on some pressure after taking the lead. Here's Schultz, who just sends it around. Tom Gilbert has it for the Oilers. Off the glass, back to Burns. Burns ahead, here's Cullen. Cullen moving in, fakes the shot, spin move, fanned on the shot. Almost got it back down low as he slid towards the goal line. Schultz will keep it in. His shot rips just wide of the goal. Here's Burns, spinning off the wall. Burns to Schultz, across, Staubitz, centers in front, knocked around in the slot, picked up, fired wide by Clutterbuck. Burns will keep it in, on goal, and a stick save by Javi Bulin. Halfway through the first.
Great pressure here. This is the kind of pressure that this Todd Richards system will give you if everybody's on the same page.
Oh, Latendresse lowering the shoulder on Curtis Foster. Bouncing puck towards the goal. Stortini has it. He'll carry. Got to center. Dumps it in. This will be icing as Falk gets back and touches it up. And we'll go back into the Oilers zone with the Wild putting on some pressure. They've beaten Edmonton 13 straight times here at home, and they're looking for another one.
Well, it's an on the balls of your feet pressure system. And the Wild showed it right here. Pinching defensemen, keeping the puck in, using each other on this play, just moving the puck around, getting the puck to the net. The Wild showing some good consistency throughout a couple of shifts there, putting some pressure on. And you gotta love to see the defensemen activated in this Wild system. They have a few guys that can move the puck very handily.
There's Dustin Penner. Partially fanned on the shot. It slid in on Backstrom, and Nicholas Backstrom will take no chance and cover up. Antti Miettinen has the Wild up by 1.
In a row since then, and they're off to a good start here against the Oilers. Of course, last season it took a big comeback against the Anaheim Ducks. The Wild want to continue that trend. It's amazing the pressure that's relieved by winning a game in your first home game. See if the Wild can continue the pressure that they put on here.
Brunette in for checking. Zhidlitsky tipped in front. Out in the high slot by Koivu, and Javi Bulin able to steer it aside, and Zanin maybe got up a little high on that hit. He's going to get a penalty. Yep. Penner chatting with him a little bit.
Well, it wasn't so much the height, it was the stick. I think he came across with a bit of a cross check. To see if he had two hands on the stick. If you have one hand on the stick, it's kind of hard to call it a cross check, but I think that Zanin came up high with both hands.
Watch. Penalty number 5.
Yeah, he had
cross-checking.
Both hands on the stick, and that's textbook. Yeah, that's about that's in the glossary as the cross check. Referees right there lined up, and you know, Alesh Hemsky, he's a guy with a lot of speed, so you definitely have to get in front of him. But the call was made because that was about as much of a cross check as you'll ever see. Wild can't march to the penalty box. They've taken 3 penalties, a holding, a hooking, and now a cross checking.
We saw some of this heavy penalty minutes in the preseason, and you're right, it's something they cannot continue to do. Third power play here in the first 20 minutes of play for the Edmonton Oilers. We haven't played 20 minutes. We're working on about 12, and so far the Wild penalty killing has held up, but you don't want to keep testing it. Horkoff fires one that's kicked aside by Backstrom. Horkoff gets it back. Burns will steal. Burns sends it all the way down. Well, it went off of the shoulder or arm of Ryan Whitney and out of play.
Well, Sean Horkoff, he's the 13th Oilers captain. He started as a fourth-line winger back in 2000, playing maybe 7 or 8 minutes a game. And he just turned 32 a few weeks ago, and he already has 2 goals in the 2 games. But he hasn't scored one off the stick yet. Horkoff's 2 goals this year. One went off of his shin, the other went off of his skate. But I guess if you score 50 goals off your leg, you're still a 50-goal scorer.
Whatever it takes. Yeah, the one he got Sunday was the game winner against Florida, as they come in here 2-0 on the season and surprising a lot of people, maybe even a lot of people in Edmonton.
Now he's playing with the 2 youngsters.
They've got Eberle and Hall on the wings.
Yeah.
They've been fairly productive through 2 games.
That's a big responsibility for Horkoff. Kind of shepherding those guys around a little bit. But you know that they have a lot of skill.
Well, there's a ton of skill on this team, but you just wonder how much the inexperience is going to come back to hurt them throughout the season. And of course, at Edmonton, they're hoping it's quick maturity is what they're hoping for. Here's Gagne all the way across left point. Whitney's shot went off traffic out in the high slot. Gilbert steps up. Slides off his stick, picked up by Penner. Penner, stick handling, didn't shoot, didn't pass.
Yeah, well, he should have done something because he just gave the Wild time to close the gap. And it was a good job by the Wild to recognize that. And Penner just ran out of room, and he's a big man.
Clutterbuck fires one that goes off the goaltender, Hobby Bulin, pops up in the air. It didn't miss the goal by much. A couple of times we've seen Cal Clutterbuck with that quick snapshot of his, making Hobby Bulin work for the save. Here's Penner. Good physical play along the board by Falk. Good matchup between those 2 big boys. Here's Miettinen firing one wide. Rebound is shot to the back wall. Quick chance for Miettinen again on the right wing side, and he couldn't connect.
Miettinen getting some very good looks early in this hockey game. Missed the net on a couple of them. He found pay dirt on that pass from Andrew Burnett.
All the way around, Zhidlichky unable to keep it in the zone.
Good to see Zhidlichky back in the lineup. Of course, he was out for a few days there.
Yeah, missed both the games in Finland as Havlat carries in. Havlat's shot goes off the stick of Sortini or Peckham and out of play for a stop here in St. Paul. You look at our EA Sports NHL 11 Spotlight. Justin Falk has made quite an impression after playing just 2 games this season for the Wild. Some calling him the most steady defenseman so far this season for Minnesota. Big Justin Falk.
Well, what I like about Justin Falk is he came in here and made the team. He was not penciled in. He wasn't penned in. There's a lot of competition for those last couple of roster spots on defense. Clayton Stoner got one of them by virtue of his contract, I think, mostly. But Justin Falk definitely had to come in and make this squad. He did so, and now he's proving that he needs to stay here. So that's something that's always fun to watch.
Cullen kicked out of the face-off circle. Havlat and Frazier on the draw. Frazier pulled it back behind his own goal line. Oilers out shooting the Wild 6-5, but Wild getting the better of the chances, and of course having the only goal so far in the game, a power play goal by Antti Miettinen, who, by the way, Miettinen had 4 game winners last year. He had an outstanding career year. And gets off to a good start here at home. Here's Cullen across the line. Havlat got tangled up out in the neutral zone. Puck behind, dumped towards the front of the goal. It'll go to the far corner. And there Havlat gets knocked down again. He and Brule having quite a battle. And here come the Oilers back. Shot from a sharp angle on the left side is hung onto, trapped up there on the chest by Backstrom. Well, if you're just joining us, here's a Menards game reset. Mietnin gets the power play goal. Burnett and Barker get the helpers. And there you see the current shot on goal totals. Antti Mietnin with 20 goals, 22 assists, 42 points last season. Hopes to repeat, maybe improve upon that. Held in by Curtis Foster. And back into the slow puck here late in the period, centered in front. Got caught up on Clutterbuck. He couldn't get the shot off. And it never got through to Habibulin, but again, good pressure around the Edmonton goal. Foster scored 2 goals in his first NHL game. The kid can shoot the puck.
Yeah, he's got a bomb. Curtis Foster said even at a young age, he was always the first to take a wrist shot, the first to take a slap shot. It kind of just came with the territory that he would have a big slapper, and he uses it very well.
A bouncing puck back into the Oilers zone. Peckham out to center, chopped away from Hemsky there. Long flip pass ahead by Zanin. Madden now for Nystrom. Eric Nystrom, the former Calgary Flame, making his St. Paul debut with the Wild. Hemsky sends it up, picked off nicely by Zanin, cleared nicely by Greg Zanin. Shows up every game with the lunch pail and gets the job done. 196 blocked shots last year for Zanin. 4th most in the NHL. How many out of 196 probably hurt really a lot?
Hurt you and me, a lot of them. Hurt him, I think he just kind of ignores them.
It's a tough way to make a living.
Yep.
Penner will send it in deep. Oilers will change. Wild with some time. 3.5 to go here in the first.
Funny thing is he was an offensive defenseman in college hockey, but Zanin realized he had to change his game a little bit. He ended up changing it a lot, becoming a defensive specialist and a shot blocker, and he's found himself a good solid spot here in this Wild lineup because of it.
Schultz with a 2-man forecheck, giving him some pressure, but it's poke free. Burnett sends it out. Mietnin across to Koivu. He'll cross into the zone, centers it back out front. He missed the mark, looking for either Burnett or Mietnin, and the Oilers come back, broken up by Barker at the Minnesota line. Here's out to Mietnin. Mietnin at the line. Whistled down, offside.
Well, Curtis Foster has looked through a lot of adversity here in the last couple of years, and will focus on one of the big things about him is his big shot. I mean, he does have a cannon. He's not afraid to use it. He likes to throw it up high there. Tough for goaltenders to see when it comes in hard. But that big hit right there by Mitchell against San Jose, and that broke the femur of Curtis Foster, and he had months and months and months of rehab. Amazing that he can walk well. Even more amazing that he's playing NHL hockey right now at the high level that he does. He's faced a lot of adversity, that only being part of it. He and his wife lost their first daughter this summer, a few days after she was born. So just some terrible adversity for Curtis Foster in the last couple seasons for him and his family. We always wish him well. Always a great guy, and he knows how to persevere.
Great to see him and catch up with him a little bit here when they make this quick stop at Edmonton. Of course, the Wild a week from now going back to Edmonton and kind of renew and continue this Northwest Division rivalry as Cogliano sends it around behind to Vandermeer, 30-year-old defenseman. And Vandermeer has the puck. Under 2 minutes now remaining in the first period. No, you look at the shots on goal for the Wild, Mike, and 5 doesn't seem like much, but it feels like they've had more chances and controlled the play more than what 5 shots would indicate.
I think they probably have more chances. A few of them have missed the net, though, and that's something they want to concentrate on.
Wrap-around attempt, the rebound, pushing and shoving, and it's covered up by Backstrom as Colin Fraser, the former Chicago Blackhawk, mixes it up a little bit. And we got a lot of former Blackhawks running around the ice tonight, don't we?
Well, they're going to throw a couple guys in the box. One of them, I think, is going to be Stortini and probably Staubitz as well. But smart play by Fraser. He wraps the puck, but he doesn't just skate away. He stays with it. Might get a second crack, and right there puts one up into the midsection. But it's because he stayed with it. A lot of guys might wrap it and skate off into the sunset. Fraser stuck with the play.
Minor penalty for
Well,
roughing.
Staubitz, you saw, got his stick caught in Backstrom's equipment. That's why he wasn't able to clear the puck. Is that going to be the only penalty? Is on?
Oddly enough, it's going to be to Brodziak. And Stortini was in there. Staubitz was in there a little bit as well. But Brodziak, it appears, is the only guy going off.
How does you got Stortini, Staubitz, all those big guys on the ice, and Brodziak took the penalty?
Yeah,
I'm not sure what.
well, so be it. The Wild, I think their 4th minor of the period.
Yeah, the look on Todd Richards' face right there, it says a lot. I don't think he wanted to be shorthanded 4 times.
Here's the thing, you can sometimes get away with that in the first period, maybe the second period, but you keep doing this, by the time the third period comes around, there's going to be some wobbly legs out there. You find yourself playing defense, it's a lot harder than dumping the puck in and forechecking.
Also another look at the power play for Edmonton. Their power play coming into the game was 2 for 8. They're 0 for 3 here. A minute to go in the first period. 1-0 Wild. Tom Gilbert, a shot, blocker save, big rebound, and Madden is there to clear.
It's okay to give up a big, fat, juicy rebound like that because there are 3 Wild players right in the slot. But I don't think Nicholas Backstrom wants to make that a habit.
Gilbert again. Fires it in. 13th appearance for Bloomington native Tom Gilbert here at XL Energy Center. He's never had a win.
That's not a very nice homecoming.
They haven't treated him well in his homecomings. Here's Hall. Hall puts on the brakes in the corner. Back to the point. Foster would like to get that big shot fired up. Hall tried to jam one through. That was knocked away. Knocked down on the wing by Eberle. Eberle gets it back out to the point. Here's Foster. He tries to pass. He had Horkoff in the slot, and the horn blows. And the first period comes to an end with the Wild shorthanded again, but leading 1-0 on a power play goal by that man, Antti Miettinen. We will be back with our first intermission here on opening night in St. Paul. Curtis Foster of the Oilers will join Robbie when we come back to St. Paul. Wild up by 1. A power play goal by Antti Miettinen. And that's where we stand as we get set to drop the puck here on the second period of play. Wild were outshot 10-5 by the Oilers, but as you said during our stats break, really a lot of those due to the power play opportunities that the Oilers got.
And they weren't as high a quality. You got to admit there were 5 chances by the Wild. Very good opportunities. Cal Clutterbuck with a couple good shots. Forced Javi Bullen to make some good saves. Wild just need to get some more pressure in there. They did a good job, but what has been stopping their pressure has been their march to the penalty box, and that has to stop.
Madden on the draw to start the period. We're going to get a second take at that. Wild still shorthanded to start this period for, as you see right there, just a little over half a minute. And I'm guessing that came up in the Wild locker room during our intermission from Coach Todd Richards because it just was too many penalties. And Nystrom will chop this one off the boards. Madden trying to get it. A little stick battling going on there, and the Oilers keep it in. Flipped high in the air and out. Madden pokes it ahead but can't gain control. Curtis Foster spins away with it. And the Oilers will set up. 10 seconds to go in their power play. Passed ahead by Ryan Whitney. Poked at by Penner. Centered off a skate. Turned over out of the box is Brodziak. And the pass is picked off by Ryan Whitney. Great chance out of the box. Quick wrister on goal by Penner. And it's gobbled up there by Backstrom. Let's go to our car soup question of the night. Hillary Hutchinson from Waconia wants to know which new Wild player will have the biggest impact on the team this season. Well, you're looking at one guy you could pick.
Yeah, you can easily pick John Madden, and you have to hope that he has a huge impact. The Wild need to be better defensively this year. They gave up 42 more goals last year than they did the previous year. Their goals against in the league went from 2nd to 21st in the last couple of years. So John Madden's going to help kind of fill the hole a little bit there. You hope that he can help them do that. Now, there's other players that obviously can really help the Wild out. But when you look at some of the needs that the Wild have, John Madden certainly fills a lot of those.
John Madden this morning had the Chicago Blackhawks stop by and present him with a pretty nice piece of jewelry. His Stanley Cup ring that he earned last year with the Hawks, and it was amazing.
Is it just me, or do those things get bigger every year? I mean, it's pretty soon they're going to be bracelets.
Well, they're pretty much unwearable. They're so big.
Oh, but they are beautiful, no question about that, and well earned. You win the Stanley Cup, you've had to definitely battle for quite some time.
And to the ladies out there, they'll be happy to know he was also given an unbelievable diamond pendant that matched the ring for his wife.
Hey, they're just as a bigger part of the winning, having to put up with some of these guys during the playoff run. Absolutely. The Wild brought in 2 free agent centermen this summer, and one of them is John Madden, who has won the Cup 3 times, and the other is Matt Cullen. Matt Cullen's won it with Carolina. So it's good to bring in experience, but it's even better to bring in experience that knows how to win and knows what it takes down the stretch.
Yeah, a couple of good guys just what this team needed that they can count on. Cullen signed a 3-year deal, so he'll be here in the state of hockey for a while. Cullen's 33 years old, so it's hard to say. Could be his last contract. You never know. He hasn't lost a step. He's still fast. He's still aggressive. So there's no sign of the end for this guy.
We've talked about it before. When you see veteran players, they seem to do it easier than younger guys, and that's because experience tells you that you don't have to overdo certain things, and it tells you to play harder in other areas, and they know the difference between the two. You see young guys just scampering around out there, wasting their energy doing things that they shouldn't or don't need to do. And veterans, they typically play the game. It's more of a heady game for them, more of a mental game.
There's Guillaume Latendresse taking a feed, poked away, but it's held in by Brodziak. Latendresse behind the goal, pinned up along the boards. Comes away with it, using his strength, back to the point. Falk with a shot, tipped in front, loose in the slot. It's underneath the body of Brodziak. He gets up, can't find the puck. And Cogliano trying to clear, but Staubitz comes in. What a tough line this is. Latendresse, Brodziak, and Staubitz. They're just bullying their way around, and it's what the Wild needed here early on, but this time a little chop down at the feet, and Latendresse is going to draw a penalty.
Well, he better be careful. He's going to get an extra 2.
I think he already did.
Well, he got the tripping call. I don't know if he gave him any more, but, we were just talking about this. We were talking about the pressure the Wild is exerting here, and every time they start to put some pressure on, it's stopped dead in its tracks by a penalty. And right here, it reaches in, chops at the knee.
See it better from this angle.
He takes the foot out, takes the leg out, and make contact with the puck. It's an argument. If you don't, well then you just quietly go to the penalty box.
5th power play of this game for the Oilers. They are 0 for 4 on the man advantage. Hemsky looking, centers, quick shot. Oh, what a shot by Penner. Through the body and up into the corner. He just buried it. Wow.
You know what? A lot of players will back off in that position into the slot and get a pass. But it's amazing to me how far back Penner was. Watch Penner. Number 27, he's at the top of the circles when he gets rid of this one. I mean, there's not a lot of guys who can get rid of it in a hurry. Look at that. One motion, and he blasts it by Backstrom in one motion underneath the glove. And it's because he gave himself some more room that he was able to get a clean shot. If he would have stepped into the hash marks, he would have been checked by the defenseman, but instead, he backed up far enough where he was open long enough, got rid of it, and that is what a 250-pound shot feels like. Dustin Penner trying to equal or better his 32 goals, 31 assists from last season.
Big shot with a big guy with a big shot. And it's a power play goal, and you knew eventually if the Wild kept giving the Oilers power play opportunities, something was going to click, and it did, and now it's tied at 1-1. And the Wild need to get back to work. It's trying to create some chances and come up with more shots. They only had 5 shots in the first period. They're stuck at 5 right now. Puck slipped by Ryan Jones on the wing. If that name sounds familiar, he was a Wild draft pick, 4th rounder back in 2004. Gilbert. Near side, Smead. Smead ahead to Hall. Hall tips it ahead. He'll clear the zone. Frazier back for Hall. Hall puts on the brakes in the corner, gets some help from Eberle, but Matt Cullen will come out with it. Long pass out at center, picked off by Sean Horkoff. Horkoff to Eberle, to Hall. Clutterbuck took Eberle down after he passed it. Peckham sends it in deep.
Clutterbuck doesn't care if you're a rookie sensation. He's going to put you down if you make a pass and watch it.
Vandermeer rotates it left. Peckham ahead. Horkoff faked the slap shot, turning. Burns trying to get it, does get it. Now Burns in the corner, flips it ahead to the line and swatted out of the zone by Clutterbuck. Pushed ahead by Chuck Kovacic. Marked there by Vandermeer. Vandermeer goes down. Oh, and then Kovacic laid out in the corner.
You know that when Vandermeer's on the ice, you got to be careful.
Here's Zidlitsky moving in. Oh, he rifles that one, just missed the post. Nice from steps up to keep it in.
He wasn't just trying to get a shot on goal. Zidlitsky was trying to put one up underneath the bar on that shot.
Quick pass to the right side, tipped up in the air, bounces in front of Backstrom, and he'll cover up.
The hit in the corner on Kovacic, that was Vandermeer getting in there, and then Peckham comes and finishes him off, and he had one hand on the stick, so he didn't have a stick at all, so you can't give him a cross-checking penalty. He just stepped into him. Peckham says that he wants to play like Vandermeer, and you put those two guys out there, it's a pretty rough and tumble, gruesome twosome, and you have to know who you're facing when you're out on that ice.
Theo Peckham, a younger version, he's 22, Vandermeer is 30, but good guy for him to be learning from here at the blue line as Havlat is knocked down just outside the line. Brodziak picks it up, stays on his feet, carries in. Now Havlat, here's Latendresse, ball, slipped off Brodziak's stick. Great chance for this line, but Brodziak couldn't hang on.
On Brodziak, you wonder if Cullen would have been moving down the middle there, would that have been a shot on goal? And that's why you put Cullen in between Latendresse and Havlat, but the Richards has decided to go with Brodziak in that position.
Brodziak fires this one off the big glass behind the goaltender Habibulin, who's 2-0 on the season. A 1.0 goals against average. He's off to a good start with his new team. It's Payarvi, the 19-year-old rookie, and they're offside of the Minnesota line. A little break, tied at 1. To bid on some great autographed Wild and NHL star jerseys. Proceeds benefit the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. Each broadcast different jerseys. Tonight, we've got Matt Cullen, Jonathan Toews, and Rick Nash. Bidding for these jerseys will end on October 18th. Make a bid. It's for a great cause. Let's get those bids going. Or Mike's going to get on the phone and buy them both. All three.
I'll tell you what, that's going hard to the net, literally. With those three guys, are you kidding me? Those are collectors right there. Having those three guys on your wall. I'm online right now, Dan. Be careful. Got some bids going.
Burns will send it down. And as Tom Gilbert gets back to touch it, it'll be icing, and Nick Schultz and the Wild will go back to the other end.
Well, I think the Wild need to also, we talked about defensive zone coverage, the Wild also need to find ways to limit high scoring periods against them. And they've done that in this game so far, although they've given up 13 shots isn't too bad. Not a lot of glaring chances. The only goal was a laser beam by Penner, but we need to reduce things like that as well. Reduce the grade A chances that you would give up. So far in this game, they've shown a lot of those things.
Whistle down at the Edmonton blue line. Antti Miettinen has the Wild goal on the power play. Dustin Penner has a power play goal for the visitors. And that's where we are, deadlocked at 1 each. Captain Koivu.
Koivu coming off of what has to have been a pretty good high for him, as well as Backstrom and Miettinen, and that is showcasing their country in Finland to the rest of their team. And also showing Finland some NHL hockey. So that's a very proud moment for those players.
Jadlitsky, backhand by Miettinen, his glove that hung on to, and a stoppage of play. Yeah, what was that, about a 4,500 mile road trip? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good trek.
Yep. It was a lot of fun, a lot of team building events. Guys went out to dinner together. They went to a secluded island with a big sauna.
Cullen will take this draw. Pulled to the corner, dumped back behind by Curtis Foster. The bouncer towards the goal is picked off. Whitney sends it off the wall out to center, but the Wild come back and gain control. And as mentioned earlier, Todd Richards said, hey, they didn't get the results they wanted on the ice, but he said it was a great team bonding experience, and they spent a lot of time together. Havlat across, a one-timer partially fanned on. Clutterbuck centers. That's driven into the goaltender, Javi Mullen, but he got it. Best chances of the period there for the Wild. Now Jadlitsky again. Looking for Cullen. Cullen turns, cuts inside, and it's poke checked away. Havlat almost stripped it away down low. Here's Nystrom trying to come up with it. And cleared out to big Dustin Penner. Penner across the line, towards the goal, through the top of the crease and out the other side. Penner centers, quick shot, blocked, another shot, stopped by Backstrom, and he hangs on into pushing and shoving. It resumes in front of the Minnesota goal.
Well, a good forecheck there by the Oilers. They retain the puck and get a couple of shots because of it. And Penner's, he's not the kind of guy that you're going to knock off the puck, and that's where Cullen has to maybe play a little bit more off of him and not try and take him into the boards. He gets it out in a couple of quick little shots, and Nicholas Backstrom comes up with a very big save, middle of the period, and tie game, and he held him off the board there.
And that Friday loss in Finland to Carolina, even though they lost in a shootout, Todd Richards said that was the way he wanted his team to play. It was a big step for them, and they didn't get the win, but they made progress.
Well, over in Finland, the Wild were exposed to a new little game, floorball. I know we played a lot of road hockey and street hockey and all kinds of things, but this is a little bit different. You can see the sticks a little bit different. They play with what looks like a big wiffle ball. And it definitely gets their skills up.
Oh, shot from the right wing wall, high behind the goaltender, and
Gilbert, I think.
Gilbert just drilled that thing home, and I'm not sure if it surprised Backstrom or what.
Yeah, he went down to the butterfly. Obviously, he was screened because of the way he went down and didn't react to it after it went over his shoulder. And Gilbert, yeah, you said he's been snake bitten every time he comes here, and maybe he's tired of that. You win the face-off, and a lot of times good things happen. And you know, the Wild's done pretty good in the face-off circle this season, but Tom Gilbert takes one off the wall there and just rifles one up high, and he gets his team up. Sean Horkoff with a nice face-off win to the wall.
By Backstrom's reaction, Mike, did you ever see it?
I don't think so. I mean, that's the reaction of a goaltender that just doesn't see the puck. He dropped to his knees. That's one indication. When a shot comes from a sharp angle, a goaltender drops to his knees. That's to protect the lower half of the net. It was a good shot. A lot of indications that he just did not see that puck.
Sean Horkoff gets the only assist on the second goal of the game by Bloomington native Tom Gilbert. And the Oilers have the lead for the first time tonight. Well, Edmonton came out here and has been very aggressive and played great this period as Hall weaves his way into the corner.
Well, the one thing the Wild stopped forechecking, they stopped gaining the offensive zone and keeping the puck down in there. And, you know, they did it in the first period, and even though they didn't get a lot of shots, they had a lot of zone time. And when you have a lot of zone time, you're going to keep pushing your opponent back. In this period, the Wild
penalty, too many men on the ice.
Have changed their stance a little bit, and it's cost them here a couple of goals. Too many men on the ice. This might help the Wild turn things back the other way, because so far in this second period it has not been the type of period they had in the first. And remember, I spoke about multiple goals being allowed in periods. Well, the Wild are up to 2 allowed in this period already. They want to stem the flow of that for sure.
Cullen and Zhidlitsky on the point. This is Cullen all the way around. He'll continue. Gilbert grabs at him. Now he spins away from Whitney. Now a centering attempt. Cullen with a shot. Save. Rebound will bounce clear of the zone.
He got a good wraparound shot. Brunette actually fanned on it. That's why everyone was fooled. Cullen wasn't. He stayed there in front of the net and wrapped one in on Khabibulin.
Zhidlitsky to the wall. Brunette will send it in along the boards. Comes free. Backhanded all the way down the ice. Ryan Jones picked it up and clears it. And the Wild will regroup. Just the second power play of the game for Minnesota. Here's Zhidlitsky. Tipped ahead across the wing to Brunette. Brunette, Zhidlitsky. Cullen. Miettinen in the high slot. Zhidlitsky turns, fires. That hit Horkoff. That hurt Horkoff. Cullen trying to keep it in. Brunette comes over to help. Horkoff goes down, held in. Here's Zhidlitsky towards the goal, bounces it in, and it's short hopped and hung on to by Khabibulin.
Just trying to hit Miettinen on the fly down the middle. Zhidlitsky thought that he could make a little saucer pass instead of wind up with a big shot. Cullen is playing the point, and he was all the way down low. He wraps it in around, and he'll give it to Brunette. Watch Brunette fan on this, but Cullen stays with it, gets a good shot on goal. Good heads-up play there by Cullen. But the Wild, that's about the extent of the pressure that they've been able to put on in this power play so far.
Cullen had a power play goal in Game 1 over in Helsinki. Havlat sends it around. Vandermeer up along the boards, and the Oilers will clear again.
Well, there's a lot of things the Wild have stopped doing. One of them is forechecking and skating the offensive zone. The other one is hitting. You saw Clutterbuck just put a hit on one of the Oilers on the wall. They need to do more of that here.
How about Burns breaking in? His shot tipped just wide. Brule, pretty good hack on Burns as he went by, no call. Yeah, the Wild out hit the Oilers 14-5 in that first period. Staubitz led everybody with 3 hits, so it was a lot more physical play in that first period. Khabibulin grabs onto it at the side of the goal. Then a stop in the action. Everybody's back at full strength for now.
You guys had a great start. First period had that lead. Now Edmonton's turned it around. How do you get back in this hockey game?
Well, we got to keep putting pucks at the net. I mean, we have 9 shots right now, and we need to get more. But at the same time, we've been in the box a lot of the game, so obviously we don't want to be there anymore. And so we got to turn the momentum here. We've been playing at our own end on the kill a lot of the night, so we need to get back on the attack.
Guys?
All right, thanks, Kevin. Sounds like a good plan. Get back to the attack. Hold that offensive zone.
There's a shot through traffic, and Khabibulin down, able to find it. Zhidlitsky got knocked down, and then everybody gathers in front of the Oiler goal. So that's exactly what they need to do right there. Get the puck to the net.
Well, that puck was still loose in that scrum, and that's the reason why the Wild got in there and started poking away at it. Get that puck to squirt loose. Khabibulin had back surgery last year and only played in 18 games. Signed that 4-year, $15 million contract in the summer of 2009, and he's had some other off-ice issues, including a DUI in Arizona that is hanging over his head. But so far this season, he looks like a goaltender that is ready to try and make amends. Shut out in his first game, and He's got 2 wins, and he's leading in this one.
Yeah, off and flying.
Wild need to pressure him a lot more, though. Some good shots in the first, but they've hardly tested him here in the second.
18,449 here at XL Energy Center tonight, a sellout. Tickets available for all Wild home games. Hope to see you down here. Madden coming right up into the screen. Tipped away. Nystrom on the far side. He'll clear the zone. Knocked away from Stortini by Kovacic. Now controlled by Frazier, sends it behind, that's broken up. And on the right wing side, Kovacic sends it out off Madden's skate. Now picked off and pushed in deep by Nystrom. And they're offside at the Edmonton blue line. Stop a play. There's a look at Eric Nystrom. Came over from Calgary, former first rounder for the Calgary Flames.
You know, you got to love the way the Wild filled a lot of good holes. We talked about the middle with Madden and Cullen. He brings in a tough winger perspective. Not afraid to grind it out and get some points that way. But Todd Richards has really shuffled the lines here, Dan, and kind of surprising. Really didn't see a lot of that this week in practice. Latendresse was kind of bouncing around between lines in practice this week, mostly because of that hip flexor injury. But really, there's been some interesting changes here by Todd Richards line-wise, and trying to track it. Havlat and Latendresse have been playing on either side of Cal Brodziak most of this game.
There's Guillaume Latendresse, 27 goals last year, 40 points, both career highs. Brodziak in the middle of Guillaume and Marty Havlat. There's Tom Gilbert. Centering pass out of the reach of Cogliano. He'll pick it up in the corner. Fires it in front off the stick of Backstrom. And now a good pass ahead goes off the tip of the stick. I think it bounced past the stick of Brodziak. Cogliano will race to center. In across the Minnesota line, puts on the brakes. Round behind, Payarvi behind. Now Burns will come away with it. Burns will clear the zone. Peckham comes up with the loose puck. Third year in the league for Theo Peckham, all here in Edmonton. And now a turnover. Here's Koivu. Koivu to the Edmonton line. Down low, Koivu cuts in front. A wraparound, no, keeps it. Now looking, Koivu in the slot. Tried to center, it's tipped away. Held in by Cam Barker.
When the Wild were lagging in Finland in that second game, it was Mikko Koivu that decided to take things in his own hand and really lead this team. I think you're seeing it again here.
Burnett drops it back. Koivu. Miettinen moves to the slot. Koivu working. He's drew a penalty with his hard work. He was grabbed by Magnus Payarvi, the rookie. And so when we come back, the Wild will go on the power play down by 1.
But as we talked about, Mikko Koivu knows how to throw this team on his back. He's done it so many times, and he did it in Finland in Game 2. The Wild couldn't get a victory out of it, but they threw 42 shots at Ward, and it was largely due to the part that Koivu decided that it was time to get things going, and that top line, supported by the captain, Mikko Koivu, got things going. And Koivu, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, looked like he was trying to get things going, and he drew a penalty because of his hard work. Hopefully the Wild can connect on this one, Dan.
Don't forget, when you think about those games in Finland, Cam Ward was amazing in both games.
Yeah.
Wild want to tie it up here. Power play chance. Shot block. Jadlitsky. Oh, he's knocked 2 people to their knees with a shot already in this one. There's Koivu in front. Burnett tried to tip it in, couldn't.
Got a piece of it.
Koivu along the boards. Miettinen in the slot. Cullen stepping in, lost it in his skates, gets it back. Cullen centers. Shot, score! Mikko Koivu!
I think it was obvious, wasn't it? Mikko Koivu, you could see the work. You could see he was a little bit angry that the Wild had settled back. Well, he drew a penalty, and then he puts himself in position for just a magnificent pass by Cullen. Watch this. In his skates, he's going to shoot it. He realizes he's not going to get the shot. So why not open yourself up and find someone else? And a nice tip in there. And the Wild have tied this game up.
And another penalty coming up on the Oilers. And
well, that was an interference call. Tom Rennie trying to get his players to regroup here.
Cal Clutterbuck got underneath someone else's skin.
He's able to do that better than most. He takes a hit right at the red line. Cal Clutterbuck, watch him curl out to the red line for the pass, and he gets hit about 3 feet before the puck got there. It'd have been good by Vandermeer to just wait a second, because he'd have had him. He just got in there a little too early. Now the Wild have a chance to really flip things around.
They'll go back to work on the power play. This will be power play number 4. They're 2 for 3 on the power play. Zhidlitsky will drop pass left side. Koivu shoots, and that's blocked by Tom Gilbert. Now Burnett. Miettinen turns across. Tough pass to be handled by Cullen. He'll send it back in deep. Burnett to Koivu. Koivu looking to center. He's on his backhand. Now to Cullen. Cullen holds off on the shot. Dishes it off. Zhidlitsky. Here's Koivu with a shot. And a stick saved by Khabibulin.
Good foot movement by this Wild lineup. Moving around very nicely. Koivu switches places with Cullen. Gets a good shot off.
Zhidlitsky, one-timer on goal. Rebound, Koivu. It's kicked around. Where is it? They score!
Well, there goes that celebration. Miettinen got in the pile there after the goal, and they wouldn't let him free. Frustration's evident by the Oilers, who had a 2-1 lead, and the Wild, with 2 power plays and now 3 for 4 in that department, have made it 3-2 in this period. Look at Koivu. He battles, and I think he will ultimately get the goal as it trickles in behind Khabibulin. Watch the overhead as it comes underneath the pad of Khabibulin. Brunette is causing trouble, but it's the pressure and the force by Mikko Koivu that gets it done. Ladislav Schmid actually may have kicked it in, but I think Koivu, the last Wild player to touch it. 2 goals in a row by Koivu, 2 goals on the power play by the Wild, and they now lead this one, although this may be reviewed briefly.
Well, I tell you what, the house is rocking now.
Yeah.
But the wind may come out of the sails if we get a review, because that kind of puts a halt on everything.
Well, it does, but I don't think there's going to be much to turn over, because if it was kicked in, it was by the Oiler player. There's Schmid actually shooting it into the pad. Actually, it was Mikko kind of coming in, but Schmid looked like he was trying to tuck it in the pad of Khabibulin, and he might have just scored on his own goaltender. I think Koivu might still get credit for it.
Wow, what an energizing finish so far to the second period for the Wild.
And that's a goal. They're gonna call it one, as they should have.
All of a sudden, shots on goal even at 15 apiece here in the later moments of this second period. So the Wild now out shooting the Oilers 10-5 here in the second. And this entire period, the Wild seemed to be kind of just drifting through the period, and then boom, things just exploded.
Well, the recognition that you're starting to set back and settle into a game that you don't want to play, that is showing maturity, and that's showing some leadership, and Koivu is usually a good spark for something like that, and they turn things around.
Well, we're skating 4-on-4 right now. So the penalties resulted in no power play, just a 4-on-4. Brodziak to Havlat. Kyle Brodziak rips one, and Khabibulin got a piece of it. Here's Zhidlitsky moving down low. Zhidlitsky walks in, centers in front, and Brodziak was tied up on the doorstep. Hemsky the other way. Hemsky walks in, centers off the pipe, right back to Backstrom, and he'll flop on it. Whoa, that was close.
Oh, yeah, the Gagne Ales Hemsky. combination was very tight. And they rang one off the pipe, trying to answer back themselves. Watch this. Hemsky waits till the very last second to get that puck across. Backstrom, he's got to play the puck. He's got to play the initial shot. And he does so. After it came off the pipe, he's just trying not to kick it in.
This puck ends up out of play. Let's get back to that last Wild goal.
It's Mikko's stick. That's Koivu right there coming in, and that probably will be changed. Right now it stands as Brunette's goal, but Koivu did get the stick on it.
Great look. Good work. Good work, guys.
That's our Foxmo getting a good look at that.
There's two guys right there that neither one of them care who gets it.
The Wild has scored 6 of its 7 goals on the power play this season. Last year in the first 3 games, they scored 6 of 8.
So right now the goal is Brunette from Zhidlichki and Cullen, but as we said, it looks as though that eventually, probably during the intermission, they'll get a better look at it. They'll probably make the change to a Mikko Koivu goal.
You know, a lot of people talk about the Wild not having what they would call a prolific scorer, someone that basically can electrify. But if you really watch Mikko Koivu, his competitiveness alone can electrify. You could just see him so many times. The effort that he puts in every play and every forecheck can really turn a game around, and having a couple of goals as well doesn't hurt.
Wild up by 1, 3 minutes remaining here in the second period. Kovacic will get it in deep. Here comes Cullen. Gilbert strips it away. Cullen holds him up.
Close.
Here's Kovacic. Fires a quick shot from the high slot. Steered to the right corner by Habibulin. Schmid. Out to the neutral zone, and they're going to be in across the Minnesota line early. A stop in the action.
Well, that 4-on-4 is over. Now they'll be a little bit tighter out there. But the Wild have shown a lot here by turning this game back in their favor. It was in their favor in the first, but a couple more penalties and things started to turn to the Oilers' favor here in the second. Wild have stopped that momentum and found themselves the lead again, using their power play to their advantage.
Burns gains the red line, launches that in the corner. Big bounce out. Burnett couldn't get there in time. Penner now takes a pass at center, dump and chase. Schultz gets back. Penner puts a good lick on him. Poke free in the corner. Penner spins away. Gagne after it. Comes loose to Hemsky. Hemsky to the point, picked off, pushed ahead by Miettinen, knocked down and hit the linesman. And now Miettinen gets it back again. Leads it into Koivu. Mikko spinning back on the wall. Foster lost his stick. Miettinen tries to dump it in deep. They want to make a change here. And they won't get a chance to make a complete change as Whitney sends it in deep, gloved and then played by Backstrom. Too far for Clutterbuck. They wave off the icing. Hall flips it ahead, picked off by Cullen. Clutterbuck with a hit on Hall, and he's going to get a penalty for interference on the play.
And the Oilers are a little incensed because when the first overall pick gets hit, everyone pays attention. It was away from the play, so didn't catch a good look at it. Clutterbuck is arguing it, and Clutterbuck typically doesn't get penalties.
22, minor penalty, interference.
Like interference penalties, typically times his hits accordingly. Check out the bottom right here. Yeah, that's a little late. A little late on the hit there as he takes out Taylor Hall. So interference is the call. And wow, the penalty-filled game to say the least.
Yeah, but not the type of penalty-filled game where things are chippy and ugly.
Yeah.
It's
just sticking fractions, maybe not moving your feet, holding, things like that.
Madden in on the forecheck, 6th power play of the game for the Oilers. They're 1 for 5. Wild have built this 3-2 lead, all on power play goals. A minute remaining in the second period.
It's also early in the season, so guys are going to make more mistakes now than they would later on when they start to figure out that you have to move your feet to make a play.
In their power play chances, the Oilers have not spent a lot of time in the Minnesota zone. Penalty kill has been fairly good. This is Eberle, the 20-year-old rookie. Eberle leaves it on the wall, back out to the point. Push to the near side to Whitney. Whitney sends it behind. Horkoff pinned on the back wall by Zanin. Hall has it. Hall back to the right point. Curtis Foster, remember the shot that Curtis Foster has. Here it comes. Foster fires. Oh, great save. That was a bomb.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you could tell that he backed up far enough. There was going to be a shot coming, and Backstrom reacted very nicely to that.
He's 6'5", 225 pounds, and he can shoot. Penner driving in at the horn, and this period will come to an end. The Wild, a couple of power play goals to take the lead. Here after 2, 3-2 over the Oilers as Captain Mikko Koivu leads the way. Second intermission on the way next from St. Paul. Robbie will be joining us and Mikko Koivu in just a moment. Stay tuned. Wild up by a goal, and Wild is what that second period was. It was all Edmonton for the first part of the period, and late the Wild got it going on the power play.
Well, I think there was a recognition by a lot of players here, especially the captain Mikko Koivu, that there need to be some sort of a turnaround. One of the things stopped marching to the penalty box, but Koivu drew a couple penalties himself just by his hard work, and then he scores 2 power play goals. Wild have 3 power play goals in the game, and that's the difference right now.
Edmonton on the power play for half a minute. Here we go, opening night in St. Paul. Wild looking for their first win of the season. Oilers, well, they're 2-0. They want to add a third win. Here's Curtis Foster. Got it just wide of the goal. Didn't miss the pipe by much. Held in by Ryan Whitney. Little give and go along the wall. They work it down low. Here's Whitney moving in. Shot on a save by Backstrom. Rebound with another great stop. Koivu can't clear. Foster sets it up on the left side. Whitney with a blast wide of the mark. Broken stick out in front of the Minnesota goal. That's Zanin's stick. Zanin almost shoved it off his broken stick into the net. Boy, would that have been unfortunate. Cleared down the other way. Stolen away by Clutterbuck. Centers into the high slot. Havlat moving in. They're going to call a penalty. Why was it called?
I think they figured that the defenseman got enough control of it in batting it out. I don't totally agree with that, but Curtis Foster got the hooking call.
That looked like Havlat should have been able to continue.
Well, possession is a different thing for a lot of referees. Watch the hook here by Foster, and yeah, I think
he didn't touch it. Oh, there he got it. There he got it. All right.
He got enough of it.
He did get a pretty good piece of stick on it. Wild back on the power play. Burns shot. That goes off of Clutterbuck and out of play.
Well, Clutterbuck has had a good start to this season, certainly effort-wise. His effort drew that penalty.
By the way, they did officially change that last Wild power play goal to Mikko Koivu, as we thought he would. He now has 2 power play goals in this game. And the Wild are 3 for 4 with the man advantage, just being their 5th power play. Burns back in the Minnesota zone.
The last time Koivu had a 2-goal game was the last game of last season against Dallas. He had 3 2-goal games last season.
Eberle up with it on the backhand, got it to center, gloved there by Zanin, quickly across. Matt Cullen will drive it in and around. Clutterbuck let it go through, Havlat couldn't keep it in. And Clutterbuck takes 2 bodies with him.
Yeah, one of them was Everly, and you learn a quick lesson there.
There's a centering pass. Quick shot wide by Latendresse. Latendresse hit on the back wall by Schmid. Clutterbuck chasing. Got Burns at the point. Burns rotates across. Into the sliders. Cullen down low. Havlat waiting. Cullen shot. What a stop! A glove save by Khabibulin. Under a minute to go in the power play.
Just some wonderful puck movement. Good foot speed there as the Wild almost connected for their 4th power play goal of the game.
Wild outshot the Oilers 11-6 in that second period. Kind of flipping the tables from the numbers in period number 1. Dumped in deep. Frazier dropped it back, and then it's cleared all the way down by Vandermeer. Backstrom leaves it there. Here's Cam Barker. From center, drives it in. 15 seconds to go in the power play, and that got out of play on the dump in by Barker.
Khabibulin held his team in with what looked like a glorious glove save on Matt Cullen. Matt Cullen is doing a great job at getting down low, and look at him backdoor here, and I don't know if that hit the crossbar or the glove. Looked like the glove. Nevertheless, the Wild with a good passing play, giving themselves another opportunity.
Yeah, good patience by 29-year-old Marty Havlat to wait for Cullen to find an open spot, and he put it right on his stick. Penalty time has expired. Brule with a pick out at the blue line. Now dumped back in down low. Brule center, but he missed the mark. Madden has it, leads it up on the right side. Dumped in from center ice, and Miettinen gets bumped from behind, but he dumped it in. Well, even strength for now. That has not lasted long in this game for either team. Schultz is back behind the goal. Madden comes down low. Schultz slowly ahead. Circles back, watch there by Pärvi. Now flips it through the neutral zone and all the way down. They wave off the icing. Gilbert sends it around behind. Whitney ahead. Brule at center, just dumps it in. Schultz going back to get it. The rookie Pärvi and Schultz get there. Schultz comes away with it. 9th year with the Minnesota Wild for Nick Schultz. And he comes out with the puck again. Gagne chasing. Hemsky broke it up. Gagne has it again. Pinned there by Madden. Picked up by Penner for Hemsky. Hemsky looking to Penner. Same play they scored on earlier in the game, but this time the puck didn't get through to big Dustin Penner.
Good shift there defensively for the Wild. Did not give the Oilers a lot of room. They played off him really well and eventually got the puck back.
Brodziak drop pass, glove save, might have been going wide on the shot by Staubitz. And Brad Staubitz battling for the loose puck. Down goes Latendresse. Puck pushed ahead to center. Across the line, and Gagne slowed right at the line, and Hemsky was in early.
Well, Justin Falk stepped up nicely in a good cover by Kyle Brodziak, who dropped back to play defense, but they did go offside. Do we have a better look even of the Cullen chance on that last power play in our Foxmo? Look at the shot off the cheater again. I thought they made those smaller. Khabibulin thought he had it, and then at the last second he realized that it kind of boomeranged out of his glove and across the other side of the net, but a good save nevertheless to just follow that passing play. Cullen, you know, when you could put a guy like Cullen on the blue line of your power play and add all the other players that the Wild have on the power play, really, all that explains maybe 6 of the 7 Wild goals this season on the power play, including 3 in this game.
Oh, Koivu with a steal at the line. Koivu looking for Burnett. Back for Koivu with a shot, and that hit Khabibulin. Mikko looking for the hat trick. Here's Miettinen trying to force it to Koivu in the high slot. Just too many bodies in the way. And it's cleared off of Mikko Koivu into the Minnesota zone. Koivu leads it ahead. Miettinen at the end of the shift fires one, got it through. A blocker save by Khabibulin. Last time Edmonton won here in this building You got to go back to January of 2007. A 2-1 Edmonton win. Oilers on the offense. Wraparound by Cogliano. Turned away by Schultz. Cogliano to the point. Schmid for Cogliano. Looks towards the goal. Fires a shot. It was deflected up over the top of the Minnesota goal. Schmid hit by Clutterbuck. Brad Staubitz led everybody in hits through 2 periods with 4 in the game. Wild out hitting the Oilers after 2. 21-11. Here comes Cullen. Cullen stops. Havlat moving in. Shot saved by Khabibulin. Tried to go short side, it looked like. Wild up by 1, putting the pressure on the Oilers. About this all night, but it's your chance to get a game-worn autographed jersey from Matt Cullen, Jonathan Toews, or Rick Nash. Bidding is online, and I got to tell you, Mike, they're going for a steal right now.
Right now, yeah. You could get them for a steal, too, if you jump in there. Jonathan Toews, the Conn Smythe and Stanley Cup champion from last season.
All the proceeds go to the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation. Each broadcast, different jerseys. Quick shot. Oh, that might have caught part of the pipe.
Oh, Cullen's been snake bit here. I mean, he put one off the inside of the glove and now one off the post. And that play is going to find pay dirt one of these times on the one-timer. He keeps backing out and getting a good shot off, and Khabibulin's reading it.
He's out there now between Havlat and Latendresse. Hemsky moving in. Hemsky centers a shot through traffic. The save by Backstrom. Penner missed on the rebound. We played 7 minutes here in the 3rd period, and boy, I tell you what, I think we're in for a great finish to this game.
Well, Matt, speaking of finish, Matt Cullen is coming very close to finishing, but just has not yet. In front, a high stick, cleared away. Good drive to the net there, cleared away defensively. He'll get this one to Burnett and get the rebound, sweeping it towards the net. So Cullen, he's all around the puck. Watch his speed on the power play. Between 3 sticks, and he hits Koivu on the back door. So Cullen's going to find his way. He's going to get his points. But he's had a couple of glorious opportunities here in this period to score.
Wild trying to contain some pressure, and that got off the stick of Chuck Kovasu and comes out. Dump back in around. Madden trying to keep it in. Eric Nystrom. Paul steps over, and a penalty coming up against Edmonton, and the Wild will get another chance on the power play. Tom Rennie, the new coach, and that guy, we talked about bringing some toughness to the ice. He got a little toughness behind the bench. 17-year veteran Rick Wilson.
Yeah, Rick Wilson, an easy guy to talk to. He's so knowledgeable about the game. He's really going to help the team in general, but also the back end, the Wild's defense, really going to help out a lot.
Yeah, Todd Rich was real excited about Justin Falk getting a chance to work with this guy. Tipped in front, they score! A shot by Cullen, and it was tipped in front, and Burnett tipped it.
Hard to say who it hit, but it was generated by the Cullen shot, and the Wild have 4 power play goals in this hockey game.
Cullen's goal.
Looks like it. And you know what? He was getting closer and closer. Oh yeah, hit the skate of Tom Gilbert and went right by Khabibulin. And Matt Cullen, who had 2 or 3 glorious chances here in this period alone, finally gets one, but it takes a shot off somebody's skate to give Wild 4 power play goals in the game. And to give Matt Cullen his first tonight.
Second goal of the season for Cullen. Second power play goal of the season for Matt Cullen. His second point of the game. Here come the Wild again. Pope checked away from Latendresse. He goes back to the corner. Now Staubitz and Peckham go to the corner. Mikko Koivu gets the assist. Koivu now has 3 points in the game, 2 goals and 1 assist. They wave off any icing, but it'll be a hand pass. And finally it's touched and picked up by Ryan Whitney, the alternate captain, but they turn it over. Centering attempt by Miettinen goes behind the goal, trying to dump it in front was Latendresse. He tried to get it back from Miettinen, goes to the corner. Now Koivu, Mikko out of the corner, center looking for Guillaume Latendresse.
Almost
and that's
out.
broken up. Koivu just takes it away. Miettinen with a shot right on. Saved by Habibulin. Puck clear to center. Schultz across the line. Schultz will fire a shot, and it's on goal right in the midsection of Nikolai Habibulin, and he'll hang on to it. Well, Saturday, the NLCS begins with a showdown between 2 Cy Young winners. Tim Lidstrom, coming off a 14 strikeout performance, takes the mound for the Giants against Roy Halladay, coming off a no-hitter, and the Phillies in one of the greatest NLCS pitching matchups in recent history. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of the NLCS begins with Game 1 Saturday, 6:30 in high definition.
The official scoring on that last wild goal is Miettinen, but I think it will be changed to Cullen once they take a look.
There's Greg Zanin, who always looks good in high definition, and the Wild every single game this year in HD. I know a lot of fans have been asking for that for years. Why aren't more games in HD? You got it, all of them this year in HD. Boy, whistle down out in the neutral zone with 10:42 to go. 2-goal Wild lead.
Well, this game in the second period turned back to the Wild's favor, and it was on the back of Mikko Koivu again, scoring 2 power play goals, drawing one of the penalties, and that's what you expect from a captain, and he truly is a leader of this team.
Hemsky slipped around Madden, but the puck was dropped back out to center. Now Gagne across the line, Hemsky in traffic, quick shot wide of the mark by Penner. Gilbert trying to keep it in, and he does. High slot, Hemsky, drop pass behind Gilbert. Pushed ahead, now here comes Eric Nystrom. Nystrom for the Wild. Pushed off the play by Schmid. In comes Kovacic. Fanning on it behind was Madden. Nystrom to Madden. Madden tangles with Gagne behind. Gilbert lost control. Schmid picks it up. Goes back behind his goal line. Good pressure by John Madden. Hemsky been out there for a long time. His lead pass to the Minnesota line for Penner was broken up by Burns. Clutterbuck gained center, dumped it down low. Wild out shooting the Oilers 22-19 now. Pretty good comeback after putting up only 5 shots on goal in the first period. Burns around. Too far, tipped by Havlat all the way down. They wave off the icing. Cullen in the corner. Man, as he had a great game. Havlat. Down low, Clutterbuck centers and almost got through. Chopped wide of the goal by Marty Havlat. Havlat leaves it behind. Cullen pushed off by Whitney. Still battling for it, knocked up the boards. And it's controlled by Payarvi, who sends it to center. Clutterbuck broke it up, partially fanned on that pass. Wild have more wins against the Oilers in their 10 years than any other team. 28 victories against Edmonton all time. Here's Hall with a shot right through Barker, and a good stick save made. Eberle trying to walk in. He drew a penalty. A look at some of the youth and their skills on this shift for Edmonton. All the way across. Hornkoff goes back to the back door. And now Brodziak gets a touch, and the delayed penalty coming up against the Wild. They'll be shorthanded when we return to St. Paul.
Well, the Wild have been consistent, at least in marching to the penalty box. There's a bit of a hook by Staubitz on Eberle. Gets around the other side, then a little bit of a can opener right in here. He heads off for a 2-minute minor.
Well, with 8:22 to go, big power play. Here's Foster with a big shot. Glove dropped and covered by Backstrom as former Wild defender Curtis Foster loves to unleash that slap shot.
You can't let him wind up. You got to at least pressure him, make him shoot it quicker than he wants to. Because if you give him too much time, there's a lot of heat behind that shot.
Foster's 20 years old in his 8th season in the National Hockey League. Cleared by Foster all the way down the ice. Bobby Boulin with a little fake behind, gives it to Horkoff. Ryan Whitney. Horkoff to Foster. Foster wide of the goal. Whitney at the left point. Sends it along the left wing wall. Eberle almost got caught, gets it back to Whitney through traffic. Blocked by Zanin, off the glass and down the ice by Greg Zanin. A lot of pregame festivities, the red carpet. And Greg Zanin yesterday said, well, is that red carpet walk going to ruin my routine? They said, nope, walk the same speed you normally walk into the building. He said, okay. He was worried about his pregame routine. Right side, Dustin Penner, drop pass, Gagne into the high slot. They'll work it back out on top. Whitney, left side, one-time blast, rebound. Loose, comes back to the point. Whitney, right side. Hemsky centers right through the crease. Whitney has it. 35 to go in the power play for Edmonton. All the way to the point, and a diving play by Brodziak to clear the puck. Good effort.
Good battle in front of the net, Dustin Penner and Nick Schultz. Penner, you can't move him, but if you get position in front of him, he won't be able to use that stick to deflect the puck.
Gagne to Zidlicki. Zidlicki trying to get loose. Now Gagne centers again. Left hash mark. Here's Gilbert moving in. It slides off his stick. And Gilbert centers, and that goes through the top of the crease untouched.
He's looking for a deflection there for sure across the top of the crease.
Oilers pouring it on, trying to get back in it on the power play. Here's Whitney with a wrist shot. Save. Backstrom down. He's got it underneath him.
Well, Penner taking a poke at a couple guys. He wants to draw another penalty as that power play ended. And the Oilers put some good pressure on. Good saves by Nicholas Backstrom. Drops the puck down, doesn't know where it is, so he does the starfish. And he closes things up.
Here's your Arby's game reset. Koivu a couple of goals. Cullen 2 points. Power play very effective tonight. Cagliano wins the draw, drops it back to the point, dumped deep into the Minnesota zone. Cleared but not out by Brunette. Mietnin comes over, hits Cagliano. Now Payarvi behind. Koivu comes away with it. Mikko just backhands it high in the air. Schmid back in his own zone, pressured by Andrew Brunette. Gilbert taps it ahead. Cagliano sends it rink wide to the left wing side. Gilbert plays it off the wall, cuts inside. Gilbert in traffic, lost control, cleared ahead off the boards and out. Koivu to Mietnin, and they cleared. And the Wild trying to finish a change. Payarvi couldn't control. Here's Latendresse moving in alone. Latendresse spins back, stays on it, drops it down low. Havlat tried to center, loose in front. A backhand attempt goes to the corner by Guillaume Latendresse. Burns steps up. Latendresse just dispatched Gilbert Brule as Brule came to hit him, and Guillaume got the best of that one. Now here's Schultz. Ahead by Brodziak to Havlat. Havlat across the line, tried to lead it in on the left side for Kyle Brodziak. That was intercepted. Under 5 remaining here in the third period. These two teams will meet again a week from tonight in Edmonton. Long pass into the Minnesota zone for Hall. Slams on the brakes, being watched by veteran Matt Cullen. Fires it to the opposite corner. Cam Barker poked at it. Eberle comes away with it. Now Justin Falk has it. Falk looking up the right wing boards. Bank pass on the right side. Kobasu circles back. Looking to the middle to Cullen. Centers in front. And he just missed. Connecting with Guillaume Latendresse.
It's just a great sense that Cullen has already with where his line mates are going to be, and he didn't miss by much.
It's going to be fun having him home, isn't it? Here's Cullen again, across right side. A shot on the save by Khabibulin. Kept it under his pads somehow. And the Wild putting on the pressure up by 2.
We'll show you how the Wild power play has exploited the Oilers tonight. We'll break down how they've scored 4 times with the extra man. Tom Chorske, Kevin Gord, Dan Tirhar on the ice with how to win a faceoff, and we'll hear from the head coach Todd Richards. All following the game on Quest Wild Live. Dan and Mike.
All right, thank you, Anthony. I know how to win that faceoff. Let Chorske take it. Here comes Hemsky. Penner goes to the net. Hemsky tried to get it inside to him, shut down by Nick Schultz. Penner behind. Hemsky has Gagne out in the high slot. Looking, tried to get it there, broken up and cleared. Out comes Khabibulin to meet it. Clears it away because Kobasu is breaking in. Hemsky met by Burns at the line, and the Wild from center will dump it down. Wild changing on the fly. 3:20 to go. Koivu for Miettinen. Miettinen held up by Tom Gilbert. Fans wanted a call, no call. Eberle lost it. Here's Koivu. Miettinen with a shot. Rebound. It's covered up quickly by Khabibulin.
Oh, what a quick little feed there by Koivu.
Jack from Duluth has our Toyota text question for tonight. He wants to know why Casey Wellman got sent to Houston.
Well, it's actually not a penalty of any sort. Casey Wellman needs to play. And given the fact that the Wild are playing some pretty tough teams here in terms of the physical play, he might not have gotten in the lineup early in the season here. So they want to see him in Houston getting some big minutes on the power play, top line minutes. And he'll be up here soon enough, believe me. You'll see Casey Wellman very likely at some point this year.
Yeah, I would think he's on the speed dial for General Manager Chuck Fletcher.
And if Brunette wouldn't have been able to go in this game like we thought, we might have seen Wellman today.
Here's Brunette to center. But we all kind of thought Brunette would find a way to be in the lineup tonight. You don't keep him out of the lineup very easily. Played all 82 games last season.
And all 82 and 7 of the last 8 that he's played.
Even Todd Richards said, hey, we got to have him in the lineup. He's an integral part of this team, and Todd was hoping he'd be able to play. Centered in front. Cullen tried to knock it down with his shin pads, but couldn't get a shot off. 2:05, third period. Clutterbuck got a tip, sends it in deep. Khabibulin will play it there.
Well, here's where the Wild just play it smart. Keep the puck in the offensive zone. Some good defensive zone coverage that we talked about before the game.
It's stopped and hung on to by Backstrom, and a face-off coming up in the Minnesota zone. Time now for the Quest high-speed play of the game, powered by Quest Fiber Optic Fast Internet.
Well, Cam Barker just sprung Brunette, who's at the far blue line. Miettinen finished it off with a good little chip. It was the first goal of the game. It was a power play goal. All 4 of the Wild goals have been. And Cam Barker showing the talent that we knew that he had, and showing a good heads-up ability to find Andrew Brunette at the far blue line, who ultimately found onto Miettinen. Timeout called here. I think the Oilers want a last-ditch effort with just under 2 to see if they can pull Khabibulin, who is now sitting on the bench. Yeah, I think he's going to stay on the bench.
Yeah, I think he's done. Face-off deep in the Minnesota zone. But get all your high school football action with Fox Sports Prep Zone. Log on to foxsportsnorth.com and click on the Prep Zone link and choose to watch one of 4 high school football games live each week. Some great matchups this week. Go check it out. Off the draw with the net empty at the other end. Still in the circle. Penner tried to center. Picked off and flipped out of the zone. And the Wild put the pressure on now as Cullen is forechecking. Wild had 2 centers on the ice for that face-off, so that if one of them got kicked out, other one could take the draw. Koivu and Cullen came into the game ranked 1 and 2 in the NHL in face-offs. Out to the point, Foster. Shot it well wide. He was looking for a deflection. Centered across to the far side. Pearvi. The rookie sends it back. Foster tees it up. Shot, rebound, stopped, and covered. Backstrom with the save in traffic.
Well, when Foster shoots it, you can hear the sound reverberate all the way up here in the press box, and you know there's a lot on it. Backstrom did a good job not only to knock it down, but to make sure that there wasn't a rebound, because that extra man, they're clamoring around that net.
Now let's take a look at our Sylvania shot of the game.
Well, Curtis Foster will unload the cannon whenever he can, and he's unleashed it a few times in this game. Nicholas Backstrom has been the better man on every occasion, including that one.
Now the goal still empty at the other end. Hobby Moulin has a seat on the bench. And the Wild, 105 away from another home opening win here in St. Paul. Off the draw, Burns sends it around behind. Koivu coming back, goes shoulder to shoulder with Hemsky. Comes loose to Koivu, now to Nystrom. Nystrom didn't clear. Quick shot blocked by Burns. Another shot blocked by Burns. Under a minute to go. Nystrom will clear. Eric Nystrom, empty net. Nystrom looking. Tried to center it in front for Koivu. Koivu trying to get the hat trick, tried to stuff it home, and he didn't get it.
Oh, Nystrom unselfishly tried to get it to Mikko Koivu for the hat trick. He could have probably shot it himself and got the goal, but he knew who his line mate was on that play.
Half a minute to go in the game. Burns behind the goal. Burns off the glass all the way down. He scored! No! Oh. He hit the post! Oh, my. Here comes Gagne the other way. Gagne dumps it in front all the way through to the corner to Hemsky. Everybody on their feet in St. Paul. Whitney's shot, fanned on it. Cullen gives it up. Clutterbuck to center. Clutterbuck shoots. He missed the open net. And this one will come to an end. Time now for our temp star of the game. Yeah, it's that one. Number 9, Captain Mikko Koivu. Koivu comes out with 2 power play goals tonight. He adds an assist, a 3-point game, and he really picked this team up and just took over the game in the second period when the Wild were struggling. And he is our temp star of the game, Captain Mikko Koivu. Anthony, just what the Wild needed, a home opening win again.
It's 9 in a row for Minnesota. We'll break down how they did it coming up next on Quest Wild Live. We'll get a chance to take a look at the Wild power play that cashed in 4 times tonight. Our instructionals how to win a faceoff, and we'll hear from Todd Richards all next on Quest Wild Live.